Hey there. It's 3:30 in the morning on Wednesday, but I'm getting that video out as soon as possible. Unfortunately, there were a couple audio issues during a couple segments. The one on Sarah Palin had some issues every time I went to single. There was an echo. What I'm hearing right now on my headphones comes straight from the board. So, unfortunately, the audio is a little tinny. It's echoey. Also, throw these on YouTube. So, again, sorry for the audio issues. Anyway, enjoy the episode. Thank you very much for watching or listening. Hey everybody, welcome back. It's been a weird week. Not a ton of news because, well, it's just that slow time of year. We have normal election shit kind of going on, but that won't pick up till October, so we don't really have a lot of national news. It's just before football season, so we'll start finally seeing that. And so you know what the news has to do. They have to create things so that apparently, you know, everyone's a bad guy and clickbait is here to stay. But in today's news, we go back 7 years, 7 long years, to 2013 and 14. You know, when Tiffany Haddish was not Tiffany Haddish we know today. And what's she getting blown up for? Tiffany Haddish deeply regrets having agreed to act in Through a Pedophile's Eyes sketch. And guys, I watched part of one. It was disturbing. It's not good. I'm not here to defend the comedy in it, okay? The thing for me is there's a lot in here that seems really sus when it comes to who's bringing the lawsuit, why now. Actually, it didn't start till 2017-18, right after Tiffany, you know, kind of hit it big. So let's hear about the sketch. Tiffany Haddish speaking out after a 2014 sketch Through a Pedophile's Eyes became the subject of a lawsuit against her and fellow comedian Aries Spears. The Jane and John Doe plaintiffs, because they were underage at the time, accused the comedians of sexually abusing a minor while filming the sketch. Now, first of all, this is my big gripe with it, because I'm like, holy shit. They were sexually abused, and in the sketch, through one of the sketches I didn't get to see, a kid is massaged in oil in order for Tiffany to get the girl. This is around the time, we're going to get to it, Bill Cosby and R. Kelly. This is not a great time for comedy in general. And, you know, they got the idea of, let's do this edgelord stuff. Now, I'm not here to defend that. There was a time where I probably tried to do shit like that. Definitely early in my comedy career. I was watching Doug Stanhope. I'm trying to be edgy. I'm failing miserably. Thank God I didn't put it on the internet. That's all I got to say about that. Haddish goes, I know people have a bunch of questions. I get it. I'm right there with you. Haddish begins an Instagram statement. Unfortunately, because there is an ongoing legal case, there's very little that I can say right now. But clearly, while this sketch was intended to be comedic, it wasn't funny at all. And I deeply regret having agreed to act in it. I really look forward to being able to share a lot more about this situation as soon as I can. She can't say anything because lawyers. But that's where this thing gets really interesting. The lawsuit focuses on 2 different sketches filmed 7 and 8 years ago. Jane Doe, you know, she was 14 at the time, presently represents herself in the case. That's where I started going, this is very shakedowny. Let me get more into it. And the suit against the pair of intentional infliction of emotional distress, gross negligence, definitely negligence. I don't think that's, you can really argue that. Sexual battery, sexual harassment, and sexual abuse of a minor. That is a big problem I have with this, because nothing was penetrated. No kids were actually. Here's the hard thing: to just throw these terms out there like that is really better come with receipts, because these are very serious accusations you're making. So those sketches were up for a while before they were taken down. Well, when the lawsuits first came in 2018, I'll get into that. They were. I'm not for these sketches. Bad comedy is bad comedy. She even says it's not good comedy, and she was newer to comedy. This is a new thing for her. She wasn't the Tiffany Haddish with 2 specials. She wasn't in Girls Trip yet. She wasn't doing the Kevin Hart movies. She wasn't making TV appearances with Letterman on Netflix. The alleged content of the sketches, which were not presently available, yeah, trust me. The one that I saw was pretty disturbing, and they, it was heavily edited, according to the Daily Beast. But this was out there. John and Jane became involved in the project after their mother met and bonded with Haddish about their shared experience with divorce. This lady was also in the comedy scene. Now, for a lot of you out there, you're like, fuck these two forever. Okay. They made a bad sketch. Now, I don't know about you. The one thing that Bill Cosby didn't do was parade his rapiness all over fucking town. Okay? That wasn't what he did. If you're a pedophile, are you really going to make a sketch about being a pedophile and just kind of out yourself? Or is this a bad attempt at comedy? Probably a bad attempt at comedy. The fact she knows her and they bonded, asked permission, she let her do the sketch. A year later, after knowing the sketch that went up, let her other kid do it. I get major show parent vibes from this. And if you've met those people, like, for instance, I was working at Flappers Comedy Club, and there was a show parent who their son was doing stand-up, and he was an adorable little, 8 or 9-year-old kid. And he was doing these silly jokes, and it's a kid, so you laugh. And they're not terrible jokes. They're just, if it wasn't an 8-year-old, you would give a fuck less. You're just like, that's a cute trick. And they insisted he be on a weekend show. He has to be doing the weekend shows. This kid's so good. So they gave him a guest spot on one. They were like, all right, we'll let you do 5 to 7 minutes because that's what you got on this main room weekend show. And the person before the kid did an adult fucking comedy sketch, not knowing there was a kid coming on, by the way. Had no idea. This was a last-minute addition. The kid gets up, does his act. His parents go to the back afterwards, and they scream at the managers, how could you let that guy do those jokes? And they were like, you asked for the spot. This is not your weekend. You're not the headliner. When you're the headliner, you can choose the feature. You can choose the host. This just gives me so many fucking showbiz parent vibes. Let's see. When Hadish offered the then 14-year-old Jane role in a commercial, she was allegedly instructed to mimic fellatio on a Subway sandwich, which Hadish showed her because she had no idea what she was really experiencing. Jane Doe how to give fellatio, including movements, noises, but how to eat a sandwich like that? They weren't like, suck a dick. They were just like, when you eat the sandwich, do it like this, because this will be the funniest, and it wasn't. Obviously, I didn't see that sketch. That sketch is not online that I can find. A year later, Haddish reportedly approached the family once more, so this is the second sketch. They've had more than a year to sit with this. And they did another one, the sketch titled Through a Pedophile's Eyes, featured Spears and character. This is the one I watched a little bit of it. I turned it off very quickly because it's disturbing. He's looking through a newspaper, and there's holes in the eyes so he can just stare at the little kid. And R. Kelly music is playing, which didn't show up in the video I watched because it was copyright infringed. And they're going off that time. It's not good comedy. A year later, Haddish reportedly approached per the Daily Beast, another response, Spears smokes a cigarette, observing the child nude in a bathtub and pours water on his feet. He was in a swimsuit, though. According to the suit after film, Mr. Doe called his mother crying, saying he did not want to film anymore, which is fair. Let's see. Anyway, so I can't find the thing. But this mom just to be clear, they're in Los Angeles, right? They're in Los Angeles. What happened in Los Angeles around this time? you know, you got Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, Me Too starting, and nothing happened for years. And then 2017, after Tiffany hits it big, this mom all of a sudden damaged all the kids. There was another article I read. The kid now puts tape over his camera on his Mac, or you know, his laptop, and because he's scared someone's looking. And some of this seems pretty crazy for just one sketch, because he never was fully nude. He was in a swimsuit. They just show the top half of him, but it's not good. Is it criminal? Here's my biggest problem. Is you're in Los Angeles, California, the fucking mecca for shady, shadowy lawyers, slimy, greaseball lawyers who are always looking to make a buck. And you're representing yourself because every law firm that picked you up dropped the case. I mean, not even Donald Trump gets away with that. It at least goes to court. I'm just saying, I don't find a situation where every lawyer in Los Angeles drops this, and all of a sudden, you know, all of a sudden you're representing yourself. You couldn't find one lawyer who is willing to take this case for probably millions. Anyway, just a little more context for stuff. Bill Cosby, right, this time, October 16th, 2014 is when Hannibal Buress told the joke. I was doing Black Tea Party at the time, and I couldn't believe it. Could not believe what was going on. I was in the news thing, and Cosby was one of my heroes growing up. He's one of my favorite comedians at the time. Now I can't watch him without crying because of the terrible things he did to people. But that's it. Okay, so that's around the time they're making these sketches is 2013, 2014. R. Kelly, the other timeline, right? Let's see. And then we go here. Allegations denied in 2002. Let's see. Then we have the tape in 2002. She showed a fake ID, so we got out of that time. Marital strain, Kelly defended by his wife, jury selection, Kelly acquitted, Kelly divorces, protests. So July 2014, here we go. Starts playing performance at the Fashion Meets Music Festival in Columbus, Ohio is canceled after protests. People of Columbus don't feel that R. Kelly's reputation is reflective of this community. Okay, yeah, thanks, CNN. That's what I wanted. 2017, the BuzzFeed story. December 2015, Kelly walks out of the interview on HuffPost Live. New allegations in August 2017. So this has been going on for a while. And this, 2014, here we go again. July 2014, we have protest. We have protest right there. And then, he's walking out of interviews in December 2015. This is topical stuff. I'm not going to defend bad comedy, but let's be real. This is not they're saying. This is a shakedown. This is trying to get money out of Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears. Ugh, God damn it, Michael. Aries Spears. And I'm not saying they're being judged. They judge themselves. They regret doing the sketch. They regret doing it. And here's Charlemagne the God. This is what he had to say on Breakfast Club to the Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears lawsuit.
But here's what Charlemagne said about it.
That's what she was told that it would be.
Oh. Okay. Oh, they told her that the sketch with Aries Spears was supposed to be about
something else. And so it's the older sister to the young boy that was in the video also. So she's filing that lawsuit on behalf of both herself and her 15-year-old brother, who was 7 at the time, and she was 14 at the time of the taping.
At some point, every industry that has ever been in the content business, whether it's movies, TV, audio, the music industry, comedy, at some point, we have to collectively have a conversation about old content. Because you have older people who act like they don't remember that, sadly, jokes like this, content like this was pretty much the norm. And then you have younger people who can't believe content like this ever existed, but it did. And at some point, we have to have a convo about it, because if you was creating content in a certain era, which wasn't too long ago, oh my God, This could happen to you.
Now, if you guys remember.
So that's where I sit. I sit right there. If you saw some of the jokes I tried to do I can't defend them. They're bad jokes. I was throwing shit at the wall. Things were different. You could be edgy, and people would just be like, either you're an asshole or whatever. It wasn't you're a pedophile. So let's just calm the fuck down. And let's wait till we see where the facts lie, because my bullshit meter's going crazy off. Mostly from living in Los Angeles. That's my Los Angeles take on it. Is this just smells like bullshit. All right, guys, we'll be right back. Thank you for watching or listening to Empty Thoughts with Mihkel Timon. If you could do me a favor, like, subscribe, comment below. And if you like it, share it. Or you can catch me on all these other, things. I don't do TikTok. Sorry. Don't do TikTok. But any of these, you can find me at. So thank you so much. I'll see you next time.